Okay, 1.5 times IQR rules. This is a rule to identify possible outliers. Okay? Possible outliers in the data. So here's what the rule says. If an observation falls more than 1.5 times IQR above Q3 or below Q1, then the observation is a suspected outlier. So for an observation X, to check whether X is an outlier, this is what you want to look at. You want to look at if X is greater than Q3, you want to look at X minus Q3 and see if it is greater than 1.5 times IQR. If that's the case, then X is a possible outlier. Or the other case is when X is smaller than Q1. In that case, you look at Q1 minus X and ask yourself whether that quantity is greater than 1.5 times IQR. And if it is the case, then X is again a possible outlier. Is that making sense? So let me okay, so what it means is that let's suppose that I'm asking myself whether the minimum here is an outlier. Okay, is it a suspected outlier? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the distance between Q1 and minimum. So I'm trying to check whether the minimum is an outlier. So I can look at the distance between Q1 and X, and then I can ask, is that distance greater than 1.5 times IQR, right? Times IQR. If that's the case, then the minimum would be a suspected outlier. Am I making sense? Okay. So let's do an example. Okay, so I have a data set here in the table. We have 25 values. And what are we asking here? We are asking here the following. What I did, so we used a table previously, right? So in this example, what I'm doing is that the largest value, remember in the previous example, the largest value was, I think, 6.1, right? So in order to cook up another example, what I'm going to do is replace the 6.1 with 8.1. So I replaced the 6.1 with 8.1. That's the only difference. Okay, so now the reason I did that is because I didn't want to use another table. Then I had to calculate the quartiles again, and I want to avoid more work. So my quartiles are still the same. Okay, so what is the IQR here? The IQR would be 4.2 minus 2.3, and is that 1.9? So the IQR in this case is 1.9. Okay. Now I am asking myself, is 8.1 a suspected outlier? Is 8.1 a suspected outlier? So what do I do? Well, 8.1 is greater than Q3, right? 8.1 is greater than Q3. So I look at the distance between 8.1 and Q3. So what's the distance? So look at the distance between 8.1 and Q3. And that distance is 3.9, right? Because Q3 is 4.2. So what is 8.1 minus 4.2? 8.1 minus 4.2 is 3.9. Okay? Now, ask yourself, is that greater than 1.5 times the IQR, right? Now remember, we already know the IQR. The IQR is 1.9. So what is 1.5 times 1.9? That's 2.85. Well, is 3.9 greater than 2.85? Yes. So therefore 8.1 is a suspected outlier. Is everybody clear? So the answer is yes. It is a suspected outlier. Any questions on that rule? Many of you are so bored, right? Okay. Yeah, I know. Some of these things are a little bit boring. It's not that exciting. But we'll do some more exciting, more math stuff pretty soon. So if you are more enthusiastic about math, we will do some math as well. You might be thinking that I'm saying this is not math, right? Well, you're exactly right. I don't think this is math, but is everybody clear?